Hello traders, this is day number 13 of the small cap market open test trading. What does that mean? We are trading one single share of real money using my trading plan that I've written for the small cap market, and we're going to take it out to 100 trades to see if it's profitable or not. If it is, then we can increase to full position size. So first of all, let me start by showing you my screener so you can see how I pick these stocks each morning. So I go over to my small cap screener. Make sure you click these three little dots and click modify. Otherwise, whatever filters you're using will not be applied. And then I organize the list by volume. I'm only interested in the highest volume stocks. OCGN was one of them. BTBT, although it has a lot of volume, was trading below the 200 MA on the daily chart, so I ignored that one. XENE I was looking at for a little while, but it looks like it just turned around and went south. HUT was on my list, and so was BITF. So let's take a look at the video right now, and you can see what I traded and what happened. So OCGN, I marked out the previous high, and it looked like it was going to head up toward it and break it. There would be a couple other things that have to happen before I could take a trade at that point, and it was just developing very slowly, so I ended up taking a trade on BITF. So I'll show you that. This is the one subjective part of my trading. I try to make my trading as objective as possible, but the one subjective part is that I have to choose the stock that I take the trade on. I'm only allowed to take 3 trades per day with this trading plan, and it must be on the same ticker symbol. And so the one thing that I have to do is decide which stock I'm going to trade if there are multiple opportunities. Sometimes there's just one, so it's very easy. But you can see OCGN is kind of creeping up, and BITF is already heading to the second high of day. So I'm just kind of waiting for that to settle. That's what that yellow line indicates. So the first yellow line is the break of the previous session high. So that could be the aftermarket, the pre-market, the day before. And then the second yellow line is the new high of day. That's the first high of day. And then the white line is a second high of day. So once a second high of day has been established and the price pulls back, excuse me, that's my phone, and the price pulls back, then you can, or I can look for an entry based on my trading plan. So let's fast forward here and see what happened. So there's a lot of other things that were kind of developing, but I just decided, you know what, BITF is giving me exactly what I want right now, so I might as well take it and see what happens. Now, the other thing with this stock is because it's such a low price stock, the moves are relatively small. But if I was trading with full position size, I would have a lot more shares, so it all kind of works out. So here's my first entry. Now that I'm watching this back, it does look like I missed the very first entry. Was this broke up above this candle for just a moment, and it would have stopped me out. So this would have been the second trade, but I didn't get that entry for whatever reason. I'm just noticing that now, and I took this entry here, which was for the break of this 1 minute candle. And I'm bringing my stop loss up to the low of that candle. That is extremely important because if the stock reverses on you and flushes down, you don't want to get stuck in a big flush and take a bigger loss than you need to. So always move that stop loss up to where you feel it's appropriate, even if it's roughly where it needs to be, and then you can adjust it once it's in place. So then I use my 2-hour calculator you saw there just to get my profit target, and then move my profit target order in place. So I'm bringing the stock onto one single page or one single chart so that I'm not distracted by any other ticker symbols that I'm watching, and I could just focus on this one, and this way I don't fall subject to FOMO if I see some other setup occur. I'm just focused on this trade, and if this trade fails, I have to get back in for another entry. So it's looking pretty strong here. The other thing that I liked that kind of made me feel like that subjective decision that I have to make as far as, do I want to trade this ticker symbol or not, is that this is no guarantee, there are no guarantees, is that on each one of these green candles, these big green candles, there was a whole lot of volume, and then on all of the red candles, there was about half the volume compared to the green candles when the price was getting pushed up. So it just looked like a lot more people were interested in buying this thing and the price, moving the price up than they were in selling it and moving the price down. So that was another thing that I took into consideration. Again, that is kind of a subjective part. It's not really part of my plan, but as I said before, that one subjective thing that I have to do is pick the stock, and then I have to live with that decision. And once I'm in a trade, I just need to follow my rules, and that's what I did. So let's move on here, fast forward. It looks kind of, the way it's moving is kind of like a low volume stock, but if you saw on the screener there, it's pretty high up on the list, and it has 2.5 million shares traded already at just about 10 a.m., and that's just a little less than half of its relative volume. So that's a decent amount of volume for this time of day, even though it does move kind of like a low volume stock. There doesn't seem to be much volume overall this morning in the small cap market. A lot of times you'll already have something with, say, 20 million shares traded, but it's kind of, I guess, a little bit below average day, but not a crazy low volume day. So back to the video here. So you see this thing's now pulling down against me. It did go up. I guess we missed that, but no really reason to go back. It did go up to 537 and get within 1 cent of my target. And again, the important thing is discipline and following your rules and sticking to your plan, because even if you have a profitable plan, if you're not able to stick to it 100% of the time, every single day, then you're going to be red in the long run. You might tease yourself into thinking that what you're doing is working because you're taking profits early, ensuring that you have many green days in a row. Early in my career, I once had 13 green days in a row, and a few days later I wiped out all those gains, because when you take profits early, when you exit early, you are decreasing your potential gains. And when you stop out, you're still stopping out at your -1R or whatever your stop is. Sometimes it might even be more than that. So let's take a look at what happened on this trade. Let's move on. Now it's back up to that 537, and look at how long this is in real time now, how long it just sits there at 537, and this is a real test of your trader discipline. Are you going to be able to sit there and let it tease you 1 cent away from your profit target, or are you going to break your rules and pull it down? In the long run, the most important thing, again, is to stick to the plan and follow your rules. So my rules say I can't do anything in this situation. I just have to watch and see what happens. And you can see there that I did get my profit target hit, which is great. The most important thing is that I follow my rules. If my profit target gets hit, then that's even better. So that was the end of my trade day, just a one and done day. So that's pretty cool. I did, as I showed you, I missed that first entry. So it would have been a +1R day, but I guess it's a happy accident where I ended up with a +2R day because of it. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful. If it was, hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, hit subscribe. I will be going over a weekly update of the results at the end of the week of the small cap trading plan. So watch out for that. I always release those videos on Sunday. If you're interested in any of my trading plans, spreadsheet, trading calculator, I have all that stuff available on patreon.com/tradingarmor. As always, go into every single trade with a plan. Stick to that plan no matter what. Always take your stop losses, honor your profit targets, and in the long run, you could be green. Take care.